Hello, thanks for watching. Friday the 7th of February 2020. It's going to be full moon on Sunday, so it's a full moon weekend. That influence is building up powerfully and actually very strongly now. But not yet. We've got other things that have got to happen first. So let's take a look at where we are today. The moon is in Cancer at the moment. So, emotional vulnerability, touchiness, that kind of thing. But a great deal of compassion, as always goes with Cancer traits, generally speaking. So the moon at the moment, 95.2% full. She is very nearly full, but she does take another couple of days to reach 100%. So that's going to be actually the 9th of February at 7:33 a.m. here in UK. That's actually 2:33 a.m. on Sunday the 9th Eastern, but it's actually Saturday night 11:33 p.m. Pacific that we get that full moon in Leo, and then we'll see some fixing. On our way there, right this minute the moon is opposite Pluto and still in Cancer, so that is actually setting the beginning of the weekend theme. That's where we are now. Again, emotions are strong. That really goes with the Cancer alignment. But then again, that's going to play a big role in events. People's basic instincts tend to be what drives them with that alignment. You get, people trying to clean things up, clear things up, so it's quite positive in that sense. Some kind of get passive aggressive and try to dominate people. Other people are willing to share their power. So it's a mixed bag, but isn't that just typical of the Cancer influence? I've dropped the mouse, here we go. Got a new crazy setup here again. I'm just constantly trying to sort of battle with equipment so I can keep on doing these. It's not easy, goodness me, but hey, who said life was easy? Mercury sextile Jupiter today. Now, Mercury is actually in the pre-shadow to retrograde. Doesn't go retrograde until the 16th of February, but at the moment Mercury's slowing down on its way into the retrograde phase. So we are starting to notice problems around travel, transport, that kind of thing. And if you've got anything to do, like getting the car fixed, buying a new pen, maybe even, getting a new iPhone or something, it would be really good to do that before the 16th of February if you can, because then communication really goes up in the air. But education is a thing, legal matters as well, and possibly glitches around transportation are in the picture with Mercury sextile Jupiter. But exploration, learning, that kind of thing, it's a bit like the Gemini influence in that sense when we get Mercury sextile Jupiter. It is it's an expansive time basically, so that's no bad thing. Venus void in Pisces, emotions are strong and actions are tending to come from feeling based kind of emotion. People are acting from the heart, basically. That isn't usually a bad thing. I was going to say it's never a bad thing. It can be a bit tricky, but what are you going to do about it? Now, Mars is void in Sagittarius, and the full moon on Sunday is actually, she's in Leo, but she makes quite a strong aspect to Mars, and she also makes an aspect to two other planets, which themselves are making an aspect to Mars. So there's a lot of Mars influence in this weekend going forward. Right now, Mars void in Sagittarius, so it's a bit panicky, You can get progress happening, but it's coming from a panicky place. People are willing to take risks that favour themselves over other people. Personal survival coming before any kind of cooperative feeling there. It's a good thing, though. Anything to do with Mars is really, really helped if you can do something positive and do something constructive with all that energy. Groups getting together and doing sports, competitions, that kind of thing are really very strongly likely to help with that. Okay, let's just take a look as we go forward through the weekend then. It's a Cancer moon, and let me just check again, when does she actually enter Leo? Right, quite a long void, of course, coming up. That starts at 10:43 a.m. today, Friday the 7th, on the Pacific coast. No, it doesn't. 7:43 a.m. Pacific, 10:43 a.m. Eastern. Forgive me, I'm useless with times. So then that's going to be 15:43, quarter to 4 this afternoon, that the moon goes void in Cancer. And void, of course, moons are very difficult to call. It's generally a time when the moon is in between one sign and another. So this is going to be when the moon leaves Cancer, but hasn't quite made it into Leo yet. Maybe some Leo feelings coming from that, particularly because the moon is so near full at the moment and the energy is so strong. But during a void, of course, better not do too much to attract any new action. And that void, of course, then ends 2:45 p.m. Eastern, 5:45 p.m. Pacific, and here in UK, 10:45 p.m, quarter to 11 tonight, the moon is actually going to enter Leo, and that really will be, setting the scene. We will start experiencing kind of full moon psyched upness then, if you know what I mean. The energy builds, the energy gathers, and then that full moon, as I was saying, 11:33 p.m, Saturday the 8th on the Pacific coast of the States and Canada, east side 2:33 a.m, here in UK 7:33 a.m. we'll get that full moon in Leo, and then we will really see some fixing. In between that, just some other, they're kind of minor aspects these, but they're worth knowing. Today, February the 7th, 6:10 a.m. in UK time, so it would have actually been late last night Pacific, very early this morning Eastern. Mercury quintile Mars, but that's all to do with what I was saying about Mercury and Mars, and just the Mars thing, people being competitive, people kind of generally being a little bit negative. Some people, not everyone, but some people, if they've got something negative pent up, it's likely to come out. And the thing to do, because it's going to be tricky to communicate with Mercury quintile Mars, the thing to do is just get together, beef it out, have a good time, and generally get things as sorted out as you can. Tomorrow, Mercury moves into Pisces, and that's really beginning the path to the actual Mercury retrograde, which is in Pisces. It ends in Leo in March, but it's starting in Pisces on the 16th. And Mercury entering Pisces tomorrow, February the 8th, that's 7:43 p.m, by the way. It's going to be quite an influence because that is trining the true node, or the north node. And the north node, or the true node, is all about where you're headed. It's the future. The south node is the past. It can be a positive thing to think of the past standing on the shoulders of those who've gone before, but this is going to be Mercury in Pisces trine the true node, the north node, so it's all about forward looking. Could be a bit confusing, and it could be very difficult to get people to actually communicate about that, but it's coming in, it's happening, and I would say that's fairly positive actually. Just got to keep an eye on communication more than anything. And the Mercury journey continues in Pisces. Mercury is going to semi-square Pluto on February the 9th, pretty much at the same time as the full moon. And Pluto is in Capricorn, whereas the North Node is in Cancer at the moment. So, that Cancer moon that we've got today is actually going to be effective right through tomorrow in a noticeable way, even though the moon is on its way into Leo. And then, that whole thing on February the 9th, the full moon, well, Mercury in Pisces, semi-square Pluto in Capricorn. In Capricorn, it's an earth sign, it's grounded. So that ought to bring a little bit of common sense, if not a lot of common sense into the picture. And I rather hope it does. Okay, friends, I will actually be back on Sunday with a look at the week ahead. Next week, the week coming up, we've got Valentine's night week today on Friday the 14th of February. If you're in West Wales, UK, do come along to Aberporth Spiritualist Church, where I will be doing clairvoyance. And anyway, that's my little advert for that. It's a great church, we'll have a great time, and Sammy Kelly is going to be there too, which is going to be 100% fantastic. So right, that's it for this weekend. I'll be back soon. Thanks very much for watching. Thumbs up please if you've enjoyed this one. Do subscribe to my channel and tap that bell so you get all notifications. YouTube still probably won't send you all the notifications because that's YouTube for you at the moment, but tap that bell to get all notifications. Leave me a comment, guys, it's great to hear from you, and share me around the internet if you can. Meanwhile, have a fantastic weekend. We're coming up to full moon. Things can get a bit gnarly at a time like that, can all get a bit sketchy, but it's very positive, it's very powerful, and being in Leo, it ought to be a great deal of fun as well. I hope it is. Have a good weekend. Peace.